Blessed Advent, everybody. Oh, I didn't get that. Merry Christmas, everybody. There we go. You guys don't know what to do with Blessed Advent, apparently. Like that's. But it's so good to see everyone here. We got everyone in the back there and all that stuff. It's great to see everyone here. There's so this to give you the history of this event. Okay, the history of this event. Back in the dark times of 5 years ago, we would do normal Advent services, and only 20 people would show up, and like 5 people would show up for the dinner, right? Like that's over there. And I was like, this is not good enough. And so I was like, let's do something different. So we basically did what we're going to do tonight, except I talked about the Chrismons, these guys. Like there's little symbolic meaning behind all that. And a bunch of people showed up. And so what we do is I talk for a little bit and we sing a song. It's a random song and all that. So at the top here, what should be our first song? So also today, this year's a little different. We have David helping us out. Yay! He has most of our songs, like all that stuff. So we might have to do 1 or 2 a cappella, but that's not that big of a deal. This tonight is just all about just having fun, singing songs, and talking about a little bit of gifts. So what should be our first song? Oh, come all you faithful. So you can get, if you can get that ready, I'll kind of introduce what we're talking about. So over the last year, Blythe talked about, I called it Christmas characters, and it was basically Slovakian Christmas, like Eastern European Christmas. And there was, like, what were some of the characters that we met? Like the scary one and all this? Yeah. Like that's, and also the carp, the Christmas carp. Like that's, when Blythe was first telling me about if you guys don't remember the Christmas carp, you have to like house a carp in your bathtub for a while, your Christmas carp. And when she first told me that story, I was like, you need to share this with the congregation at Christmas. And that's what she did last year. This year, we're going to talk about gifts. I'm calling it a century of gifts. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And so we're going to start off with talking about the 20s and kind of go all the way through to kind of modern day, talking about like the gifts that were given and kind of some cultural things around all of that. So we'll sing a song and then we'll talk about a decade. We'll sing a song and talk about a decade and all of those things. So let's get started here. So David, if you are ready, what was the song we were going to sing? Oh, do you not have "Oh Come All You Faithful"? It's all.
Let me explain one thing. Okay, so when I do a song, I have to take the singer, the voice of the person that was on that song originally, out of it.
Yeah.
And then I subjected myself into it, and then so basically to do these songs, it's kind of takes it's not that easy. So I have a lot of songs, but are you sure it's not a different name to it?
Well, it's.
Well, sometimes some have different names in different languages and stuff.
What was that the one that you like this? Yeah.
That's it.
We got it. That's it.
Yeah, so it's actually, what is that? Can you say that? You're good at these biblical names. What's the name
I'm not good at that. That was.
What does that say? Ades
It's Latin.
Fidelius. What is it?
Adetis Fielis? I don't know.
Okay, so this is what we're singing right now. That's what we were at, right? Okay. Oh, yeah. All right, let me get it started. Wait, you guys. Okay, so let me just let it know how it goes. When I play, I'm playing the voice.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is follow me.
Yeah.
Okay? When I start, when I stop, that's usually the voice that stops. So that's how it works. Okay, so. All right, so we'll start again. So when I play, then you guys pick up singing. Then we'll be okay. Otherwise, we'll be all over the place.
Good job. All right. So 100 years ago was the 1920s. Does anyone remember that time here? Oh, man. Oh, man. So the 20s, often referred to as the Roaring Twenties, brought about a seismic cultural shift in attitudes to Christmas. This reflected in just how we all celebrated the holidays. The aftermath of World War I and the end of the Spanish flu pandemic created a sense of liberation and a desire to embrace life fully. The spirit of exuberance manifested in Christmas celebrations with increased social gatherings and the focus on modernity. The introduction of new technologies such as the radio and allowed families to share holiday festivities through music and storytelling. The Art Deco movement influenced holiday decor with sleek and stylized designs becoming popular. The Jazz Age contributed to lively celebrations with jazz dance becoming an integral part to Christmas parties. But Prohibition was around. Oh man, yeah, like I'm glad that those of you that remember Prohibition are booing it. Like that. That's over there. That led to the rise of speakeasies and things like that. It kind of had clandestine celebrations and toasts there. So the 1920s set the stage for a more dynamic, socially engaged approach to holiday festivities, making a departure from the more restrained traditions of the previous decades. So, before we talk about the actual gift from the 20s, what's going to be our next song? I forgot to do that at the beginning there. What's the next song? What? Hark the Herald. So all right, get ready for that one. So 1920s had a pretty popular gift that came out and gained in popularity. Does anyone want to guess what that is? No, not the Slinky. Yo-yo. For those of you that missed this, that's yo-yo. So I have a couple of videos, and this is kind of a video of the history, just real fast. You ready for sound, Kyler? Here we go.
First up, straight from the Roaring Twenties, we have everyone's favorite way to get rope burn, the yo-yo. This absolutely mesmerizing spinning disc on a string is believed to have originated from China in 1000 BC. It's gone by many names over the years, but when Pedro Flores started manufacturing it in America in the 1920s, he called it by its Filipino name, yo-yo. In the 1920s, promotional trick contests had every Dick and Jane obsessed with learning how to walk the dog.
All right. Who's good at the yo-yo in here? Anyone? No one? Nobody is good at the yo-yo? I'm really good about it going down and it just staying down there. Like that, what? What's that? Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's a good trick. And then we just pay no mind to it not going back up again. No, rock the baby, none of those things. Not good at any of that. So, all right, well, you ready for the next song? Let's do Hark the Herald Angels Sing.
Okay.
Yeah, we only got 2 on that one. All right. So, what's the next song are we going to do? Go Tell It on the Mountain. Do we have that one on here? Yep, we do. Do you have the Go Tell It on the Mountain? No? All right. We will do Go Tell It on the Mountain next, and it will be a cappella. All right. So the 1930s. They were a challenging decade. What was going on in the 30s? The Depression. Good job. Economic hardship significantly influenced all these Christmas traditions, widespread unemployment, financial struggles. Many families during the Christmas season shifted towards resourcefulness, and the emphasis embraced on do-it-yourself decorations and gifts, fostering a spirit of creativity and resilience. The era also saw the advent of Christmas club savings accounts, or what we kind of know as layaway. Layaway gotten popular so people could push the purchase down. And so despite the economic difficulties, the 30s brought about some enduring Christmas traditions. The Christmas tree became prevalent in many households because of electric lighting. And so it gained in popularity to decorate homes. Popular culture, including movies and radio shows, played a role in uplifting spirits during this holiday season. The era's challenges forged a sense of community, and neighbors often came together to support one another through shared meals and modest gift exchanges. The 30s Christmas celebrations were marked by a mix of community and charity and resilience during difficult times. There was also this kind of picture of kind of going forward here. Now, I don't think you're going to guess what the next gift was, but this next one, this person was incredibly popular. All right? Incredibly popular person, and they made something of her. Like who? Shirley Temple. Shirley Temple. So let's watch this next video.
Animal crackers in my soup might sound disgusting when we say it, but it's sweet as pie when sung by 1930s child star Shirley Temple. By the time she was 6 years old, Shirley had already been in 20 films, singing, dancing, and souping her way into the hearts of Americans. In one of the first cross-promotional stunts ever, the Ideal Toy and Novelty Company obtained the rights to produce a Shirley Temple doll in 1934, and soon they had a hit on their hands. The doll made over $45 million during its 7 years of production, which translates to over $870 million today, making Ideal Toy Company the single most profitable company in America in 1935, and had them tap dancing all the way to the bank.
All right. Did anyone have a Shirley Temple doll? You still do? Yeah. You have one back there. You don't still have it like that? Was that in the attic? There were a lot of toys up in the attic in Georgia. Yeah. And so that's So Shirley Temple. I remember seeing those like that, being little and going to a great grandparent's house or something like that. I remember seeing Shirley Temple dolls. They never looked like they were in all that good a condition, though. That's kind of funny. But that's all right. So let's sing "Go Tell It on the Mountain" together. All right. So we're gonna be a cappella. So I'm gonna turn off my microphone. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. While shepherds kept their watching o'er silent flocks by night, behold, through a right. Good job, everyone. What's the next song? No one choose all at once. I can't understand you. We Three Kings? Actually, hold on. Let's wait on that one. Let's do that one last. There's a reason why we're doing it last. You want to do Oh Holy Night? All right. So you guys need to clear out your pipes. You ready for Oh Holy Night? I think it's hilarious that that's on the sheet, by the way. That's because it's a high note. It's a high note. So I'll talk here for a little bit, though. We're on to the 40s. Anyone remember the 40s? So the 40s. The 40s are dominated by World War II, right? This upheaval significantly shaped the Christmas season. War effort influenced holiday celebrations with an emphasis on simplicity and wartime austerity. Families often displayed war trees adorned with handsome decorations and items reflecting wartime themes, and wrapping paper and traditional items such as ornaments were in short supply. Many resources were redirected for the war, leading to shortage of traditional holiday items. Families also saw the rise of patriotic Christmas decorations with the era incorporating red, white, and blue in their displays. Despite the challenges, the Christmas became a crucial time for maintaining morale and expressing unity on the home front. Soldiers overseas received packages and letters from home and families on the home front and found solace in all of these Christmas rituals and traditions. And in the end of the war, 1945 brought a renewed sense of hope, with families reuniting and looking forward to a brighter future. The 1940s holiday season, shaped by the realities of wartime, exemplified the spirit of resilience and sacrifice and bringing togetherness. So here's what I thought was interesting as I was looking at all these things. Christmas, we've got to understand how we do Christmas today and all that stuff is really, it's not that old. It's really not that old. In the 1800s, Christmas wasn't this huge celebration and all that stuff. And I thought it was interesting looking at the gifts and seeing how all this changed. The 20s and the 30s and the 40s a little bit, all were like wanting to really focus on modernity and all these things like that, really looking at all this. And this war caused everyone, we're going to really see this in the 50s, caused everyone to start looking back. And if you think about how we celebrate Christmas and a lot of our stuff, we solidified a bunch of traditions that existed in the late 40s, early 50s, right? Just a lot of what we do looks like that there. So let me ask this for the toy. What toy was invented in the 40s that it's still around today and is still sold? We could go to the Five Below and buy one right now. Slinky. Yeah, Slinky. Slinky. Mechanical engineer Richard James invented the Slinky by accident in 1943. And he was working on something that kept avionics equipment from shaking too much in planes in the wartime effort. And he was working on this, this spring-like thing, and it fell and it went down a series of stairs. And he's like, that's interesting. That's over there. The first year that they were selling the Slinky, it did not do well at all. But in 1945, in Christmas of 1945, they got put into the window at Gimbel's store in Philadelphia. And they sold 400 Slinkies within a few minutes. And the advertisement, one of the reasons why it's had so much staying power and sold so many, is they came up with a jingle, a song. Many of you could probably just standing sing this song already, right? You go on over there. And so the funny thing about it, actually, we'll watch before we watch the commercial, I have an old commercial from the 60s for the Slinky. The Slinky, they always advertised, not yet. There we go. All right. They always advertise it. What? I can start it from my phone too. And so anyway, so they always advertise it going downstairs. Notice the stairs in all the ads. They're like this big. Like they're not long, they're not a standard stair. That's why when you took it home and tried to kick it down the stairs, it was always a disappointment, right? Like that's like over there because they advertised it on stairs. So when you're watching the ad, watch the watch how big the stairs are. So here we go.
Who walks the stair without
See how
a
little
care?
those are?
He's so high in the sky, bumps up and down just like a clown. Everyone knows it's Slinky, the best present yet to give or get. The kids will all want to try. The hit of the day when you're ready to play. Everyone knows it's Slinky. It's Slinky, it's Slinky. For fun is the best of the toys. It's Slinky, the favorite of girls and boys.
And look at these. Here are some more wonderful Slinky toys.
Here is a slinky hippo.
And here is a slinky elephant.
And here is a Slinky caterpillar. A Slinky toy will run and play all day. A Slinky toy, my favorite toy, you'll say. There is a Slinky toy for every girl and boy.
All right, do you guys remember seeing those ads in person? No, like that, the jingle and all that stuff. That ad is from the '60s, but the Slinky. All right, so what was the next song we were gonna do? What? Oh Holy Night, Oh Holy Night. You ready to go? All right.
One that I got. This is everybody's, one of their favorites. Everybody's.
Didn't want to stop. So what's the next song we'll do? Joy to the World. Joy to the World. All right, we got that one. All right, the 50s. Who remembers the 50s? All right, like that. Like that. I have a feeling there's some people that aren't being truthful in the room right now, right? So the 50s are like they marked the post-war, the post-war economic economy of prosperity, the return of family values influencing the Christmas traditions and celebrations. The Christmas season in the 50s was characterized by an emphasis on home and hearth, families, gatherings, and they would often watch the new television with these new festive programs and enjoy the magic of the season. The era witnessed the rise of consumerism with the boom in the popularity of store-bought decorations, tinsel, even the aluminum Christmas tree. You guys know what killed the aluminum Christmas tree, right? There's a thing. What? No, it wasn't electricity. It was Charlie Brown's Christmas. That you can see because they basically make fun of the aluminum Christmas tree in Charlie Brown's Christmas. That's what the Grinch gets, basically, right? Is one of those silly aluminum Christmas trees. And sales tanked after that. Like that, it was Charlie Brown's Christmas. So the advent of television advertising also played a significant role shaping the way people perceived and approached gift giving. The concept of the nuclear family enjoying a picture-perfect Christmas with carefully wrapped presents under the decorated tree became a cultural ideal, and this decade's trend set the stage for the evolving consumerism of the Christmas season for the decades after it, establishing enduring traditions that blended nostalgia with an embrace on modern conveniences. So, the toy for this decade is the first toy that had a dedicated TV-only advertising campaign. It wasn't Etch-a-Sketch. Barbie. It was Barbie. Barbie. So the story of Barbie is kind of fascinating. Ruth Handler, she would watch her daughter Barbara play with paper dolls and notice that she often enjoyed giving them adult roles. At the time, most children's toy dolls were just representative of babies, you know. Realizing that there could be a gap in the market, she suggested to her husband, one of the lead guys at Mattel, about an adult doll, and he and all the boys at Mattel went, "That's a dumb idea." So they went on a German vacation, and while they were in Germany, they noticed that there was a toy doll there called Build Lily, and they basically bought 3 of them, gave the girl one of these dolls, and then brought the other 2 back to the execs at Mattel, and the daughter loved this Build Lily. Now, what's funny about this is that she was a toy made from a very adult comic strip, like over there. So it's a little off color going on over there with the advent of Barbie. But it was they saw that and they were like, yes, let's make it, and they made Barbie. And she was one of the first toys, I think she was the first toy that had a marketing strategy exclusively around TV. So this is the first Barbie ad.
Barbie, you're beautiful. You make me feel my Barbie doll is really real. Barbie's small and so petite. Her clothes and figure look so neat. Her dancing outfit rings the bell. At parties she will cast a spell. Purses, hats, and gloves galore. And all the gadgets gals adore.
Barbie dressed for swim and fun is only $3. Her lovely fashions range from $1 to $5. Look for Barbie wherever dolls are sold.
Someday I'm gonna be exactly like you. Till then I know just what I'll do. Barbie, beautiful Barbie, I'll make believe that I am you.
You can tell it's Mattel. It's swell.
Right, Mattel. So that was Barbie. Does anyone have your old Barbies? You do? You do? All right. You got, in the back, you got some Barbies. The Barbies are still around. The best statistic I found for Barbies is Mattel sells an average of 3 a second of Barbies. Yeah. They sell 3 a second. Like that's which is unbelievable if you think about it. Like that's so yeah. All right. So we were going to sing Joy to the World, right? Oh, you don't have Joy to the World? No, I don't, but we can do that when everybody knows that. Yeah. You guys ready? So I realized the last two songs that the lyrics are different in the book and on the thing. So that's all right. All right, we'll get that figured out. We'll get that figured out. So, all right, what's the next song? What's the next song? Oh, we didn't sing "Away in the Manger" yet, did we? Yeah. You don't have it? We can just do it a cappella. Yeah. Well, he has a bunch. So let's do "What Child Is This" next. What child is this next? We got a few going on. All right. What child is this? So we're on to the 60s. You guys remember the 60s? Like that? Are you allowed to say you remember the 60s? Like that? That's like, you guys are much more proud of remembering the 60s than the 50s. So 60s was this decade of profound social change, cultural upheaval, transformative spirit influenced the way we celebrate Christmas. The countercultural movement, the rise of youth-oriented popular culture had a noticeable impact on Christmas in particular, becoming the canvas for self-expression with customized ornaments and colorful, eclectic decorations reflecting the vibrant energy of the area. The commercialization of Christmas became a pronounced and became more pronounced with the introduction of popular toys like the Easy Bake Oven and G.I. Joe or the iconic Barbie doll. The space race and the technological advancements also found their way into the holiday celebrations with futuristic themed decorations. The influence of music was significant, with the Beatles' Christmas records and the rise of festive pop songs adding a contemporary flair to the season. The 1960s holiday celebrations embraced a mix of a mix of tradition and innovation, reflecting the dynamic and a transformative spirit of the decade. So, the two toys that I have for this one, I'm not going to I already mentioned them because I think they're big. G.I. Joe and the Easy Bake Oven. Like two things that still exist today. Who had like the G.I. Joes that stood like a foot tall? And none of you had any of that? Thank you, Ken. Thank you. You would put him in the Easy Bake Oven? Is that why he had a scar on his face? Yeah, like that. That's the G.I. Joes. What my favorite memory of G.I. Joe is from an episode of Seinfeld. Did you guys ever watch Seinfeld? Like that Seinfeld, the Festivus episode, where George Costanza's father is telling Kramer about the first Festivus, and he says, "I was going to buy my son a doll, and he says there was only one left. And as I began to rain blows upon the man who tried to grab it from me, I said, there's got to be something better. It has to be a Festivus for the rest of us." Anyway, the everything I looked up about G.I. Joe, there was a comment about it's not a doll, it's an action figure. That's like every little commentary about all this stuff, and I laughed and laughed because it's like, he's standing there and all that. So G.I. Joe, I remember G.I. Joe being a kid from the 80s, and we'll talk a little bit about that when we get up there. But my G.I. Joes were this tall, like over there. They weren't the big guys, like that's. And so here is an ad for the G.I. Joe. Oh, you can see me.
G.I. Joe, fighting man from head to toe, on the land, on the sea, in the air.
G.I. Joe attack! Boom, boom! G.I. Joe takes the hill! Bam, bam! Horrific battle!
Terrific equipment to have a battle with. When you get G.I. Joe and the authentic G.I. Joe equipment, you'll have the greatest realism, the greatest fun you ever had in playing soldier. Box after box of authentic uniforms and equipment, so you can change your G.I. Joe soldier into a camouflage Marine ready for battle, a Navy frogman with complete scuba suit and inflatable life raft, an Air Force pilot with high-altitude helmet and air vest. Get G.I. Joe and get G.I. Joe equipment so you can set up exciting battle action whenever you want. Remember, only G.I. Joe is G.I. Joe.
What does that mean? Yeah, remember, only G.I. Joe is G. That's just like it's built Ford tough, right? What does that mean? Like that's the only G.I. Joe is G.I. Joe. Like, and I love how you can just like change their outfits. Oh, you don't call it outfits, but G.I. Joe really focused on realism. Like that first, like it kind of, when I had it, it was like going into like crazy land with all kinds of crazy weapons and stuff, but it was like intense realism, as you could tell kind of in the ad. Now, Easy Bake Oven. Who had an Easy Bake Oven? That's probably most, there was like, I don't think we ever bought an Easy Bake Oven in the Escher household growing up, but there was always one around. Like that one cousin got it or something like that, and then just ended up at our house at some point, and we'd try to make brownies, and when we felt like disappointing our family type of thing, like that's like that, all those things. So does anyone have positive memories of the Easy Bake Oven? No, not at all. Nothing ever turned out. Yours did? Yeah. Do you have Jane's got her hand up. Do you have a positive memory of the Easy Bake Oven, Jane? Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? An old one or a new one? The new ones, yeah. So the old ones, it's 2 100-watt light bulbs was the heating device. And I don't know what the new is. I can't remember what. Do you know what heats it now? Okay, little tiny cupcakes. It's disappointing. It's disappointing. Yeah. All right. Here's an ad for the Easy Bake Oven.
Easy bake, fast as you can. Mix 'em up, pour 'em in the pan. Slide 'em in, let 'em bake now. Slide 'em in, slide 'em out. Easy bake, wow! Only Kenner's Easy Bake Oven Set makes such delicious cakes, cookies, candy, brownies, pizza, pies, and biscuits. It bakes like magic with 2 ordinary light bulbs and has a special cooling chamber. Easy Bake by Kenner.
I don't know how I feel about the kid that has to wear the husky pants really going after the baked goods. Like that's I don't know how I feel about all that. But yeah, the Easy Bake Oven. What did I have anything interesting on the Easy Bake Oven? I think we kind of talked about it. It was the interesting thing about Easy Bake Oven is they kind of targeted at girls, but it ended up being, and still kind of is, a very like boys and girls ended up really liking it because it was simply around it was kind of for everyone, and that was something that a lot of the toy companies like that they really were like, oh, this is like fitting for everybody. So that I thought that was really interesting. So we're singing What Child Is This? All right, let's go for it.
From what I understand, this is to me, it's Greensleeves. It's kind of the music from Greensleeves. There's a little introduction here, so remember when I play. that it?
It is not.
I didn't want to get too long, because that goes on for a while.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. That's what this night is. That's what this night is. So, what's the next song? Remember, we're gonna. Yeah. Yeah. No, you can request one.
Does everybody like Mary? Do you know?
Yeah, you can do Mary. Did you know?
You know? Yeah.
Like
I think
this?
everybody. A lot of people know the words to that. Yeah. I know it's not in here.
Yeah, it's not. We don't have it. We can do it though. Do you guys want to do Mary? Did you know? Sure. Yeah, everyone's like, we'll let it happen. We'll allow it. We'll allow it. Yeah. All right. Yeah, no, that'll work. All right, we'll do that one next. We'll do Mary, Did You Know? All right. The 70s. Do you guys remember the 70s? Yeah, everyone's been real non-committal on what you remember today. Like all that stuff. The continual cultural shifts in the 70s, coming out of the 60s, were evident and reflected the way we celebrated Christmas. Environmental movement, emerging new age ideas, right? The growing interest in diverse cultural traditions influenced all of our holiday practices, and natural and handmade decorations gained in popularity as people embraced a kind of back to nature kind of idea. Earthy tones, whenever I see pictures of the 70s, it's just all brown, everything, or olive green. Yeah, avocado. Yeah, just how, the avocado. Yeah. So there were many iconic gifts in this era. The Rubik's Cube, the Atari gaming system, all these things started happening. But I am thinking of one gift in particular. When I told people that I was doing this, talking about gifts, I had, I think, 3 or 4 people yell at me, this one gift from the 70s. What am I thinking of? What, Cabbage Patch? That's the 80s. What? Star Wars. Star Wars was almost. Then I found one that was better. Kenner's Star Wars figurines. That's what everybody copied Kenner after they produced those Star Wars figurines. That's what happened with G.I. Joe. That's why they shrunk and all those things. But there's another one. It's ridiculous and pointless. It is the Pet Rock. Pet Rock. I've never seen a group of people get so disappointed and enraged at the same time as everyone's saying the Pet Rock. The Pet Rock, quirky novelty item. Actually, I have a whole video on just the background of it here. So we'll learn a little bit about the Pet Rock.
In 1975, a 38-year-old copywriter named Gary Dahl was living in California with a list of pets that included dogs, cats, goats, and chickens. While bellyaching with some beer buddies about the high cost of pet ownership one night in a pub, Dahl jokingly suggested that the perfect pet would be a pet rock. Dahl's friends were soon feeding him one-liners about training rocks to sit, shake, fetch, and of course, stay. That's when Dahl envisioned writing a tongue-in-cheek owner's manual entitled The Care and Training of Your Pet Rock. But once the book copy got rolling, Dahl decided to gather some investors and go all in on the joke. Dahl found 2 to 3 inch rocks that he could get for a penny apiece through a local gravel company who got them from Mexico's Rosarito Beach. The final product was ridiculous, just a bunch of cardboard fluff covering a 1-cent rock that Dahl was determined to sell for $4. Each one came with its own pet carrier cardboard box, complete with breathing holes and a straw bed. But in a Mental Floss article entitled Hard Sell, A History of the Pet Rock, Jake Rosen writes, Dahl, however, knew what he was marketing. Vietnam had ended, but Watergate was still fresh. The country's mood was slightly downcast, and Dahl believed people would see the inane nature of the pet rock and recognized the humor of it. With Dahl's clever writing, consumers couldn't miss the joke. The manual told owners to train their pet rock to roll over by explaining the best place to teach your pet rock to do this is on the side of a hill. Gary Dahl introduced the pet rock at a San Francisco gift show in August of 1975. One of the amazing things about a toy fad is that adults have to take part in order for the fad to take off. Dahl convinced San Francisco's Liberty House to carry the pet rock in its stationery department and promised to come and promote it for them. Soon, pet rock packages were showing up at department stores like Fred Meyer in Oregon, Reich's in Ohio, Stewart's in Maryland, and even Lord & Taylor's in Boston. Sales exploded as newspaper and magazine articles ran nationwide. Some complained, "We'll buy anything," and "Oh, come now," while others embraced the fun with headlines like, "Don't knock the pet rock." It bewildered and beguiled, sold to pet haters and comedy lovers. By November of 1975, Dahl's company, Rock Bottom Productions, had sold 60,000 pet rocks. And in December, an avalanche. Newsweek ran a story, then People magazine. Its December 15th issue featured a rock legend on the cover and Gary Dahl's rock in a box inside. TV news outlets everywhere fueled the fad as the story continued to grow. And as this press photo shows and the legend goes, on Christmas Eve 1975, Gary Dahl sold his 1 millionth pet rock. But it couldn't last. By 1976, while pet rock faded under the glare of the spotlight, knockoff companies stole from Dahl in broad daylight. Why buy a pet rock when you could buy a rock pet or a Pebble Pal? By 1979, pet rock was so dead that a man in California opened a pet rock cemetery and, of course, for a fee, would send a death certificate to any fans who needed closure. Before it was over, 1.5 million pet rocks were sold, earning Dahl enough money to fulfill a dream of opening his own pub in California in 1977. In 2012, a company named Rosebud Entertainment introduced pet rocks to a new generation. Gary Dahl died on March 23, 2015, at the age of 78. Sometime before he passed, he was featured in an article in Oregon's Jacksonville Review by Carolyn Kingsnorth, wherein he's holding up one of his prized pets. Pet rock still ranks as the fastest selling and most publicized novelty gift product in retailing history. Thanks for watching.
I love novelty gift stuff like that, like it's all just ridiculous things. Does anyone have a pet rock? Coley did. She wasn't even alive in the 70s, and she had one. Yeah. But it's fun. It's fun. All right, so we'll do Mary. Did you know? Yeah. Oh yeah.
I just have to forget it. Well, that's not it. That's Mary's boy child. Yeah. That's what I mean. I get messed up with the names. I can't. And my customers don't really remember them either. Song. around for a long time, but
Sounds good. All right. What we're going to do in service of time, I'm going to combine 80s and 90s here together. So we're going to have two. Let's see. We'll do one after the 80s and 90s, and then the closing song. So we'll do two more songs. We'll do two more songs. So what is the last song is going to be? So let's do Silent Night next. Can you do Silent Night? We'll do We Three Kings as our last one. We'll do We Three Kings as our last one. So the 80s. You guys remember the 80s, right? I remember some of the 80s. I'm a 1982 model, like all that stuff. But you started seeing just more and more consumerism coming into and buying all these things. Like the video games became incredibly popular. Nintendo, right? You had action figures such as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I had all of those. I had all that stuff. Like it's over there. Transformers, like it's with all these bold and bright colors, really reflected the trend in Christmas with neon and all of these things, and just iconic advertising campaigns became the whole thing. So there's two things I want to talk about with the 80s here. The first one is the 80s was before advertising laws specifically targeting children. Here's what I mean by that. Toy companies created all kinds of movies and TV shows with the sole purpose of selling toys. That is what Transformers is. That is what the Care Bears are. That's what the new generation of G.I. Joe was. Like they produced these TV shows and these movies all at the same time. There was a show I loved as a child called Mask, and it had all these sweet kind of transforming like cars and stuff like that would go over. And I was all about this show growing up, and I looked at the history of it all. I was like, it's a crummy commercial the whole time. Like that's the whole thing, like just constantly like sold to you. But there was one gift that at the beginning of the 80s stood out and was all the rage, and Piper said it earlier, Cabbage Patch. Who stayed in line for a Cabbage Patch Kid? Like, look at this. Five people in this room. Multiple of them. Like that. Oh, yeah, your sister worked at Toys R Us? And a nightmare during all that? This was one of the first toys that really just like hit it huge and just was like kind of the modern frenzy that we kind of think about today. And so I have a news story kind of about all that. It kind of shows some old footage and stuff. So we'll watch that.
From Power Rangers to Tickle Me Elmo, Furby to Hatchimals, there has always been a new hot toy trend around the holidays that send the children who want them and the parents that have to search for them into a frenzy. In 1983, one toy was an absolute must-have for Christmas. It left a trail of mobs, uproar, and even riots in its wake. Those toys were the Cabbage Patch Kid dolls. WBIR digital storyteller William Winnett has the story of Cabbage Patch Mania as it happened right here in Knoxville 40 years ago.
Hearing a lot about the Smurfs and the Care Bears, and always trucks and tricycles and bicycles and dolls.
If you were sitting on Santa's lap in 1983, chances are the doll you were asking for was of the Cabbage Patch variety.
They're all so cute, you know. They're just darling. You just want to cuddle them.
These popular plush playthings turned Hills on Broadway into a free-for-all when they received their shipment.
At exactly 12 o'clock, when we did open the door, we had stampedes at the door, we had young kids and old ladies being trampled on, and customers not really being respectful of other people coming to the store. It took about 6 minutes to sell all the Cabbage Patch dolls we had ordered. We had 96 of them, and they were gone in 6 minutes' time. It was a real ruckus.
Just grabbing them like crazy. Somebody just handed us this one. Look at the box. You waited.
The rush to find a Cabbage Patch Kid had some store owners even pulling stock from their shelves away from the view of the public.
Ellen is in the enviable position of owning not one of these Cabbage Patch dolls, but 36 of them. You might say this is the motherlode of Cabbage Patch dolls here in Pigeon Forge.
You always have problems with theft in a retail establishment. We never had merchandise that we felt we had to hide.
Gosh, I hope I get it.
As a solution to the holiday hullabaloo, the shops that had the dolls in stock held lotteries, complete with security for those parents hoping to give their kids a Merry Christmas.
I just put my name in quite a few times, so I just left her home today just in chance that I might win one. So she's going to be very pleased.
Stores in our area were charging $20 to $25 per Cabbage Patch Kid, with some places selling them for $60 and higher. The dolls were so popular that knockoffs were also being peddled. Thankfully, there were those who embraced Christmas as the season of giving and just gave away the dolls to those that would appreciate them most.
It's been over the news and in the paper about people storming some of the retail stores, fighting each other, kind of a mob-type scene, and a little bit of bad publicity about them. And we just thought maybe what we'd like to do is something a little bit different this year and something special.
How fun is that? Our digital storyteller, William Winnett, even had his own Cabbage Patch doll as a baby.
Right. We don't need any more of that. But that's Cabbage Patch. I remember Cabbage Patch Kids being around, all that stuff. Has anyone been to Babyland General Hospital? That's the Georgia people have. Congratulations. In North Georgia, you can go watch them birth a Cabbage Patch doll out of the Cabbage Patch at Babyland General Hospital. And the good news, they're no longer popular, so there's not a long wait to see this happen. But they're still birthing them up there. And so 90s, the 90s had a similar craze, you kind of see this frenzy going up, and we're kind of building up to Black Friday is what we're building up to. And so this kind of frenzy of these are the it gifts that you have to get. One of the gifts that is definitely, when you think of late 90s, is Furby. Did you guys ever own a Furby? Those were real big there. But the one that I think about when I think of 90s, you got to have gifts. And I was 14 on this Christmas when this came out. There was one that sticks out to me. What are the gotta have gifts in the 90s? Anyone remember? Gucci Gucci Goo. It's Tickle Me Elmo. You got who waited in line for a Tickle Me Elmo? Anybody? You have one of those? You have one of those. That was a gift. I remember when that came out because everybody was trying to find a Tickle Me Elmo. Do you guys remember Tickle Me Elmos? Oh yeah. That's everyone was trying to find that over there. So you had all these the phenomenon of Tickle Me Elmo kind of hit on that power of nostalgia of that beloved Christmas of Sesame Street, but with this kind of new toy that kind of did this automation that we hadn't really seen before. So, all right, what was the next song we were going to sing? Silent Night? We'll do Silent Night.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's a good advertisement for our Christmas Eve service. At 7 o'clock, we do it with the Korean church. And no, we're doing it 7 o'clock with them this year. Oh, does it? All that stuff is wrong. So what I think that is the Koreans did 4 o'clock with us last year, and they want to move it to 7 this year, and so it's 7 o'clock. I'll change all that marketing material. I talked with them this week about that. Anyway, what? So there's a Lutheran tradition that when we were closer to our German lineage, that churches would sing Silent Night, and they would always do a verse in German. Over there. Some of you probably remember that. Those of you that lied about remembering the 50s, but because we have the Koreans here, we sing a verse in Korean with them, and then we sing everyone in their own tongue, in one of the times too. So that's kind of one of our traditions we do around here with them. So we do the Christmas Eve service with the Koreans, I think, is a fun service. All right, so the 2000s is marked by what I think Black Friday. Like, I think that has a thing. Who waited in line for anything on Black Friday? Like that, yeah. Like, you're proud of it, Judy. You're proud, like that's like got over there. I think the 2000s. That's when it started happening. Do you guys know why it's called Black Friday? No, so it's what?
People get black eyes.
Like no. That's the weekend when the retailers went profitable, went into the black. When it went into the black. So it's called Black Friday, and everyone remembers seeing all these things. But if you remember, like in the mid 2000s, kind of it started to wane about 2012 and all that stuff. They started expanding it. But when they used to do those like midnight openings and people were getting trampled and like all that stuff, right? Like that's so I have some news footage of Black Friday.
The stores across the country today. Sometimes it is a contact sport as people turn out for those Black Friday deals. Good evening. Welcome. I'm Michael Cogdill.
And I'm Carol Goldsmith. This year it all started so early, some stores opened on Thanksgiving.
And the long lines ran all the way through this Black Friday. News 4's Tim Waller, brave man, braved it all.
It's one of those sights you only see one day out of the year.
We have a map mapping out where we need to go.
Black Friday shoppers at Target on Woodruff Road in line for who knows how long.
Well, that was
yesterday
at 8 o'clock.
8-hour wait for this magic moment.
Guys, come on, settle down. Come on, guys.
They came here for the $300 TV. Some tried for $2 at that price.
People pushing through.
And up the road at Best Buy, more lines around the building. All for those one-time only deals.
Yeah! TV, Wii for $3.99 is a good deal.
And this is how Black Friday in Greenville began.
Guys, if you could help me out and make
at the big box stores and at the mall. You battled with women over a pair of shoes?
Yeah, pretty. It's not my proudest moment, but I'll admit to it.
There were big sales here, although mall shoppers learned they weren't the only ones here for rock-bottom deals.
It came to that, shoving?
Yes, sir. Pushing and nails. There were nails involved, I'm pretty sure.
Some chose to sit this one out.
My wife is inside somewhere. I'm supposed to be meeting her in the shoe department.
How's that working out?
It's not working out well at all, as you can tell.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
But it did work well for retailers in the upstate, who saw larger crowds than last year, most said.
Our biggest buy
was the trampoline. Saved probably $100 on that.
Thanks to those crazy Black Friday morning deals.
Shopping cart?
Tim Waller, WYFF News 4, Greenville.
I think my favorite Black Friday memory is like when they started doing the Thanksgiving night at like 9 o'clock, something like that. like there were like, I don't know, a good 4 years where all of us would get in my parents' Suburban and go down to the mall or something like that and just brave it all and get home late. And it was just, I don't know, it was just, it's like a weird happy memory for me. But we never bought anything. I think I bought a pillow. Like that's, yeah, like that's not like a decorative one, like one that you sleep on. Like that's, in fact, I think that one ended up giving me some neck issues, but we'll get beyond that. But it's like Black Friday, like you can kind of see, it was interesting looking at all these gifts, and you can kind of see like that we kind of got to that place, like kind of slowly and surely kind of got to there as we continue going forward, and we're in this wanting to give each other gifts, and we can look at the struggle of all of this and this like, oh man, there's so much rampant consumerism and spending and like all this stuff, and really all we want to do is give meaningful gifts to people, to tell people that we love them, that we care for them, that they are important to us, that they are here with us, and that they, you know, we want to show a bit of our gratitude to them. And that gifting is really rooted in this story, in the Christmas story of the wise men coming to Jesus and giving him the 3 gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. You know, like that they were giving gifts to Jesus in this thing. And it can seem now that in a way that we treat the holiday and everything around it, it's like, oh, it's all broken, it's all crazy and all that. But you got to remember is that Jesus redeems the things that have lost their way. That God redeems that stuff. And that as we go and we may not be fighting off people with like sticks on Black Friday anymore. Black Friday is now Black November or something like that. Like it's it is, you're not beating people off anymore, but a lot of those same things kind of come about. And you have to remember what was the genesis of all this, was those wise men giving those gifts. And the beautiful part of the story of Christmas is that Jesus redeems sinners and Jesus redeems the broken things. And that our broken means of consumerism and gift giving and all of that stuff, that it may be in part, but it is that thing that is being redeemed on that Christmas morning as we give those gifts and take part of all this stuff. And I think that is kind of what Christmas is all about and what Jesus does for us and redeems even our sinful ways. So that's kind of my little devotion for today as we go forward here. And we can close the night singing We Three Kings. So thanks so much, and we'll say goodbye to you afterwards. Oh, you don't have it? Oh, ha! All right.
This one, Chris, you should be
solo. I should sing this
solo.
one? Let me turn off the microphone. All right. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Someone else did actually sing, so
Orient, bearing gifts we transferred afar, field and fountain, moor and mount, following yonder star. Oh, stars of wonder, star of night, star of royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to the perfect light.
Well, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you to David
Oh,
for
thank
playing
you.
for us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hope you learned a little bit about the gifts and all that stuff. This is kind of a fun way of doing it. Next week, next Wednesday, same time, same bat channel, we are going to do Christmas variety, is what we call it. We have a couple of games planned for it, one of which was really popular last year, and that is, let's name that tune, but we do it with bells, and we do it with people that don't know how to play. And so, which is all of you. And that ended up being a surprise hit last year. So we're going to play that game. We're also going to play a game that's kind of guessing the right box, and I'll get a couple people to play that for us. That'll be a fun game as well. But the reason why we call it variety, if you have a short story you would like to tell, if you have an ability or something like that you would like to do or sing, say, like read some, a poem or something like that. It's tap dance, and we got a little bit of softwood here, right? Like that's, but it's for that. It's Christmas variety, and it's just a fun way. And then all the songs that we're gonna sing are like the classic Christmas songs, like Jingle Bells and all that stuff. David has a ton of those. So you can be ready for all of that. So it'll be a fun time. But thank you so much for coming today. It's an honor having you with us. Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a great day.